Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Levi. Welcome to our show. It's your show, The Dr. Levi Show. Today is September 31st, 2016. Actually, that's incorrect. Today is August 31st, 2016. My team and I just went through that for like a minute, and I still screwed it up. Sorry about that. Well, let me tell you, I hope wherever you are today, you're making it a great day. It's beautiful here in Los Angeles, as per usual. So I want to remind you to live in that place of ever-expanding gratitude and to know and understand that the universe is conspiring for your greater good. It just takes you to show up for your life, to live with passion, to live with creativity, and to live with the knowingness that you matter, that your life has purpose, and that you're here for a great, great reason. So I want to thank you for being a part of our show. We have a lot to discuss as per usual. Today, though, it's a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. It's about gym etiquette. So we're going to talk about some of the basics of gym etiquette, but more importantly, I have some amazing guests for you today, who will really give you their insights and their anecdotes and their stories about what happens in the gym when because they're so like gym rats like I am, and they really live in this place of knowing that fitness is a lifestyle. And what does it take to be fit? It takes commitment, consistency, diet, exercise, rest, and recovery. The bottom line is you have to show up. Like you show up for your life, you have to show up to be fit, because a body that works out looks like it works out. A body that doesn't looks like it doesn't. So I say that with no judgment, but I say that for you to be aware of yourself and do what you can to be fit. Make sure that your choices when it comes to diet, less white flour, white rice, sugar, soy, salt, wheat, gluten, all of these things that will really do things to your body that it doesn't necessarily like. And why do I say that? Because most of those are what we call pro-inflammatory foods, foods that will cause you to have more inflammation in your gut and therefore will decrease the amount of nutrient-dense absorption for your body. Don't forget, it's really quite simple. You are what you eat. So with that said, show up for your life. Be mindful about your choices for food and for drink and for smoking, because again, you are what you eat, drink, snort, and smoke. All right? Really not that difficult. So if you're vaping, I've talked about this before, vaping is not the way to go. There are chemicals in the vaping byproducts that we still can't totally recognize. And I want to say, with that said, we know smoking is bad. However, vaping possibly could be worse. So the data is still out. There are a lot of studies going on right now. And I think within the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have a really good snapshot about what it does to someone's pulmonary parenchyma, i.e. their lungs. So be aware of what you're doing to your body. So with that said, let's also talk about some issues that are really important today. And that is, we recently lost, I want to talk about two people here. One is Spanish icon, Juan Gabriel. I want to tell you something very interesting. Two of my really good friends just went to his concert last weekend, and he passed away this week. So it just shows you how very fragile life is. You know, often we used to say you can be here today and gone tomorrow, but that doesn't apply today. Today it's actually you can be here today and gone today. You can be here today and gone 2 seconds later. You know, so I'm always aware of that wonderful prose and poem by Countee Cullen. And at the end of it, it says that one day we'll meet for the very last time, but we will not know it. So I think there's power in saying that when you're with someone, always do your best to recognize their divinity, their beauty, their humanity, their uniqueness. Because guess what? Tomorrow you may not be able to say, I love you, I appreciate you, I'm sorry, I'm grateful. So just be aware. Every day really is a gift. I can't say that with enough intensity. You know, last week we talked about gratitude, my favorite word, because I think gratitude reminds us to get out of ourselves and be grateful for the things that we see, for the people that are around us. It gives us a chance to recognize the beauty in other people. Because just as we want to be recognized for our beauty and for our contribution, other people also want to be recognized. And why not? It's so nice and so easy to simply, you know, to treat people the way you want to be treated, to treat them with love and compassion and goodness, and to know that whatever you do, you're no better than no one else. As a physician, the physician is no better than the dog walker. The dog walker is no better than the attorney. We're all here to be of service. So with that said, it's important that we live a life whereby we can decompress the ego, maximize our humanity, and do what we can to live the highest sort of humanity, which is service. It's not what can you get, it's more important about what can you give. How can I do more? How can I serve more? How can I volunteer more? Because you only get what you're willing to give away. Just remember that. So Juan Gabriel, he's gone, and I know the gates of heaven open wide for a big reception for him. And also great comedian Gene Wilder. I have to tell you, when I was a kid, I used to think that of all the things I could watch besides The Wizard of Oz, which I thought was this magical show, as I grew up a little bit, not much, I've grown up just a little bit, but as I grew up, the other thing that I loved was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because I always thought that gave me this hope as this little black boy living in the ghetto with drug dealers, with pimps and prostitutes and infestation. It always gave me the thought that, one day I'm going to do what I can to get out of this situation, but more importantly, go back hopefully and make a difference. And that was one of the movies that always gave me hope for some odd reason. And so Gene Wilder, again, I'm sure the gates of heaven just opened just wide. Say, come on in, Gene. So those two will be missed a lot. I also want to talk about Frank Martinez, who is a local disc jockey here in the Spanish community, does a lot in the salsa community. He's actually really ill right now, suffering from end-stage renal disease. So I want to say two things with Frank Martinez. Number one, tomorrow's the big event. There's going to be a fundraiser for him, and I'll have the address for that too. We're gonna have that up on my websites later because I'll be at that event also. And I want to say to Frank Martinez, thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for being a part of this community, and to let you know that we here at the Dr. Levi Show, we are your fans, and we're praying for you, we're meditating for you, and we're believing that you'll get some healing from what you're going through. So just keep the faith and stay strong like you are, and just know that the world loves you and appreciates you. Just keep that in mind, Frank. Now, I have a lot of other stuff that's going on, but more importantly, I want to get to our guests today. We have like some great people whom I really love and appreciate, and I admire because I know what it takes to be fit and to be healthy. It takes, as I said before, dedication and commitment and consistency. You have to go when you're tired, when you don't really feel like. You have to go if you have a partner or not, if you have a spouse or not. You have to go because you take you wherever you go. So it's your body. It's your body that you have to value and take care of. And these three individuals are people that really show you the essence of fitness, of health, of beauty, of doing the right thing, of making this commitment to self so that they can be of greater service in their professions as a fitness professional, as thespian and actor, as entrepreneur and manager. So I want to welcome to the show today, wonderful, phenomenal Janet Rodriquez. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're happy to have you here. And I want to thank you for having your company as a sponsor for our show. Let's talk about your company also, LLC Access. Let's hear what they do exactly.
All Access Events is an event planning company.
Yes.
We have clients that range from celebrities, from doctors and entrepreneurs, and we put on events in the local community as well as Vegas and Florida and Miami. And our model is that we just, we plan and you show up and do nothing and we take care of everything.
I love that. I love that. So I want to tell all our listeners, if you really want to have an event that's elevated, that's out of the stratosphere with respect to being phenomenal, you want to definitely call Janet Rodriquez. We'll have all of her information on my website and all my social media platforms. But she really is, when it comes to events, and I've been at many that she's done, phenomenal is like doesn't even touch the surface of what she does. So, Janet, I want to thank you for being with us. And I also want to welcome Cam Scott, with Press for Fitness.
Press for Progress.
Talk about it then. Let's hear about it, man.
All right, well, Press for Progress is pretty much an up-and-coming brand that I created where we pretty much focus on pressing for progress. No matter what situation you come up across or you face, you need to press through it and progress through it to grow from it.
And those areas that you specifically focus on are faith, family, and fitness.
Absolutely. The most three important, what I believe to be the most three important concepts that you can focus on.
Yes.
Faith, family, and fitness is everything. You stay faithful, you stay connected to your family, and you stay fit, you can overcome everything you see.
Heard it from Cam Scott, everybody. What can I say? Now we have on the show also today someone who raised a lot of commotion on our social media platform. He was considered the most beautiful, the most buff, the most handsome. Let me talk about the talented Jeff Bosley of Boz is in the house. Hey, Jeff.
I feel so protected.
Oh, I do too. So Jeff, welcome, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. Please, I need to have you walk around as my pitcher. Every room I go in,
I
I'm
can
just
do
gonna have
that
you walk
well.
in first.
I can do that well. Well, welcome to the show. What's been going on in your life since we last had you here on the show?
Since you last saw me, pretty much the same adventure, different day.
Yes.
I just started full-time conservatory over the Lee Strasberg Institute.
Fantastic
so
place.
I added more full-time and didn't subtract any of my other full-time.
Yes.
And on top of that, a girl dared me to enter a bodybuilding contest.
Yes.
So I threw that in there full-time. So
wow, man.
that's
and that contest is coming up in November.
October 15th.
Wow,
show
man.
day in Culver City.
Well, get ready. Well, hopefully we'll be there. I'll have my
Right.
team there to say, hey, we know Jeff Boz
Yeah.
here.
I'm the only guy. I think
Yes.
I'm the only guy in my height category. So
Really?
I'm a shoe in to win.
That's a great thing.
It'll be a fast
Giant.
show.
It'll be a fast show. We'll make it there, man. Well, no, I'm happy that you guys are here because the three of you really represent the epitome of what it is to be fit, and more importantly, what the commitment it takes to do that. And like myself, I know when we work out, there's this issue that I call gym etiquette.
Right.
We all have our rules and our thoughts about gym etiquette and the things that sort of make us feel less than comfortable when we're at the gym. We see how people treat the machinery, what they may do in respect to being on their phone or taking selfies or leaving the weights in certain places. So I want to hear from each one of you your 3 pet peeves about the gym and about what people do that sort of irritate you no matter how much you're in the zone and working out. When you see these things happening in the gym or even in the locker room that kind of bother you. And I'll tell you about my top 3. Janet, let's begin with you, young lady.
Oh gosh.
Only 3. I know there might be 30. There might be 30 or 40. Only 3.
Just I have to say that a couple of times. Doesn't happen every day,
Yes.
but it happens pretty often. Racks never get weights never get re-racked.
Yes.
Ever. Like
Yes.
they make it off the racks, but they never make it on the rack.
Absolutely.
That's got to be the most frustrating thing ever.
Right.
So that's one.
Give me another one that bothers you also.
People don't wipe their machines down
Yeah,
after
yes.
they use it.
Yes.
So I often find sweat, I find grease, and God
Hair,
knows.
hair grease and puddles of sweat.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's stuff that we
Yes.
see.
Yes.
Imagine
Yeah.
stuff we don't see.
Trust me,
With a blue light.
the stuff you
Little
don't
white
see,
light.
you don't want to see.
Exactly.
It would scare you. It
It's
would
just
scare
nasty.
you. One thing I always say about that is, this is just a theory, and that is, people treat the gym the way they treat their homes, the way they treat their cars. So I think if someone comes into the gym and they leave the weights all over like that, then if you went to their car, if you went to their home, I bet you would see when they get into home, they step out of their underwear and their pants and their socks. They
Wow.
leave them right there in a puddle, right by the door, and they may be there for 2 or 3 days. I think
crazy?
that same thing translates to when people go to the gym. To me, the gym it's a very sacred place, almost like a meditation for me personally. So when I go prepared to do the work, to
Right.
do what I need to do to honor this body that I've been given,
Right.
and to make sure it stays as strong as it can, to be of service. So when people are leaving the weights like that, I'm telling you, they have no respect or consideration for the other people.
Right.
It's not that difficult. If you picked them up, okay, now you finished, you pick them up, go back and drop them down. And why not put them, if they're 35 pounds, why not put them back in the 35-pound rack where you got them from? Not in the 65 or
$1 million
105.
question.
To me, it's just not that difficult.
Right, right.
What about yourself? And one other thing I want to say, too, about the puddles of stuff that we see. You're absolutely right. That's a great, great statement that you made about the things that you see versus what you don't see, because what you don't see is the bacteria and the fungus. And I've treated in my practice many, many high-level athletes who have gotten fungal infections, ringworm in the back of their head, their necks, their armpits, and even their groin, jock itch and athlete's foot from the
Right.
shower and from the gym, because it's just not a clean place.
Right.
I'll share with you one quick story, and then I want to get to you, Cam. And this is why I stopped taking showers at the gym. I used to work out at Gold's Gym a lot in Venice, and as well as 24-hour fitness. And I'm not going to tell you which one it occurred at because I don't want to mar either of them. And I also work out, of course, sometime at LA Fitness here. So one of those gyms, I was kind of pressed for time. I usually don't like to take showers in the gym anyway, but I don't care. You've seen one naked body, you've seen them all. I don't care. Naked, I'm for it. So I'm in the shower and showering up and everything, and then all of a sudden I hear this psst.
Oh no.
So I'm taking the soap out of mine and I turn around, and the guy that's 2 shower, it's like community shower at college, 2 things away from me is taking a whiz in the shower. So I said, hey, dude, you can't do that. He said, it's going to go down the drain. I said, yeah, but it has to pass by my feet. I said, I said, no, you can't do that. He said, it's just pee. I said, yeah, but it's not correct. You can't pee in the shower.
Right.
And he just couldn't see it. He said, dude, you out of your mind. I said, man, please don't. And I thought, let me just get out and be kind and not go where I really want to go with this, because it won't be good for him. It won't be good for me. Right. So just, come on, Levi, just take 2 steps back, wash off your feet, get out. And that was the last time I took a shower at the gym, and that was almost 2 years now.
Right.
And I used to like that when I could, but now just that thought. I had on my flip-flops. I never stepped, bare feet. Yeah. But just the thought of that, it's like, you cannot be more nasty,
it's gross.
Or disrespectful of other people.
Right.
Just like when you're in the locker room, for example. Okay, if you're gonna take a shower, well, you don't have to walk around naked. Wrap yourself in a towel, and we don't want to see you. You may be proud of you. I'm happy for you. Good job. But we don't want to see you. Right. We don't roll like that. So. Those are some things that bother me a little bit. Cam, I want to hear about you, young man. What are your pet peeves there?
Oh, man. Pet peeves. Janet hit some really crucial ones.
Yes.
Re-racking your weights is huge.
Absolutely.
Wiping everything down is huge.
Yes.
For me personally, it'll probably be people who are just inconsiderate of other people's time.
Yes.
If you have 8 exercises that you're going to do on one machine and it takes you a full hour to do it, it's a little...
Especially if you take a 5-minute break on your phone while you're doing it.
Right, hold on. Let me take this phone call and let me check my Snapchat or my Instagram.
Or do some selfies.
Now, see, the selfie thing, I think because we're in a generation for selfies, it's okay. But the person who has to take a picture, do a set, and then take another picture to see if they've gained progress, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Let me do 30 crunches, show you my abs, let me do 30 more, show you some more abs. Maybe a change between the next 5 minutes or so. Just in consideration for people's time. And that has to be my biggest pet peeve.
I'm totally with you. What about you, Jeff Bosley?
Oh, God.
I'm sure you could write a book.
I got to count to 10.
Yes.
My biggest one is going to be the racking of weights.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to come across arrogant, but I'm very fortunate that I've worked enough that I hang out in the 150 to 200 and 150-pound dumbbells.
Which is great.
So it's not hard to figure out
where they go.
The 5s don't go there.
Exactly.
And I'm not exaggerating. I've documented this. Anybody that follows me, see me. I'll dime them out on Snapchat.
Right.
I've taken the 120s, done 3 sets, watched somebody from the other end of the gym where the 5 came from, put the 5 there, and I'll walk up and look at him, and we'll just have this passive moment of, yeah, you're stupid. Right. And then what happens, and here's the thing though with racking the weights that I think we all agree with but haven't brought up, is what I started doing now is so something's in my way and mine goes there, I will throw theirs on the floor, put mine away, but I won't put theirs away because if you think about it, it'll be exponential. You'll go to put those away and there'll be the wrong weight there.
Absolutely.
I don't have time to do that. And then so people look at me like I'm the a-hole.
No, but it's not.
So they don't realize that. I'm like, no, I put mine away like Mom taught me.
Right. I figured, put your toys away,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Here's the thing is okay, and all illiteracy seriousness aside, if you're illiterate, you could still match. Like I made the joke earlier.
Match the numbers.
Yeah, I could look at hieroglyphics in Egypt and go, these two look the same. 120 does not look like a 5. So if all these people in the gym are illiterate, they should be able to figure this crap out.
Exactly.
I get so hostile with this. So that's number 1. Number 2 for me comes comes with the putting away of stuff in general, like the way your mom taught you. I mean,
I know
the words. So like you'll walk in and there'll just be towels and water bottles, like they're like, oh, done,
everywhere.
and drop.
Yes.
And I kind of disagree with what you're saying with their houses and their cars. I venture that that's halfway true, but I also venture that there's probably people cleaning up after them elsewhere.
That's possible.
Because I will see not making snap judgments, but I will see what car they're driving.
Right.
Odds are that Maserati owner has somebody cleaning up.
That's a possibility. So you think it's more of an issue of self-entitlement. They feel entitled that they can do it, and whoever is there, they can do it.
There is an aspect of that, yeah, for sure. Because, like the 16-year-old that doesn't put his crap away is just raised poorly. He didn't have mom to slap him in the face. But number 3, I guess, would kind of be the wiping down, because in this day and age of 24-hour gyms and germs and people not washing their hands after they go to the bathroom, that's a huge one just for germ issues.
Right.
So,
and the other one I want to share with both of you, with all 3 of you, should say, is when people actually wipe things down, then leave the piece of towel right by the bench. It's like,
There's no trash can.
There's no trash can. Now, why do I want to clean? I want to come here, work out, and clean too. I'm not getting paid to clean. I don't mind cleaning.
Right.
But why do I have to pick up 3 pieces of wet, filthy towel paper that's around, and then I have to wipe off the thing myself, pick up those towels, because I don't want to walk around in nastiness.
Yeah.
So I will pick up those pieces of paper also, then put that away, and then go back to what I want to do.
Right.
I want to share with you something this morning that happened. So this morning, I'm working out. I get to the gym between 4:30 and like 4:15 every day. So I get there, I'm working out really hard, and there's a guy working out with 2 of his buddies, and just grunting. Now, in general, I'm okay with grunting. You know, if you might need to get that aggression
girls
out.
don't like that.
You know,
It's not
guys don't either. Guys don't
Guys
either.
don't either.
We don't like it either. So I thought to myself, okay, Levi, don't go there. You go on the other side of the gym and work out. So I went to the other side of the gym. About 2 minutes later, they went right next to me again.
Wow.
And I thought, this is a lesson for me to, 1, to have the focus to block it out, and 2, to be in the zone and do my thing. And thirdly, it allowed me to follow my mind. So as I'm working out, doing some bench pressing, the guy gets next to me, he's doing an incline. I mean, real heavy weight, like 120 pounds, 150. I mean, one of the guys was really buff. Not Jeff Bosley buff, but he was buff. So as I'm doing my presses, I kept thinking, you know what, I should move my foot over, because if he drops that weight, that is going to bounce on my foot. And I thought, keep working, Levi. And then I stopped. I said, no, you stop. So as I stopped and put my weight down, sure enough, he drops the weight, it bounces, and taps my foot. So he pops up, he says, dude, we almost had a problem. He said, I would have broken your foot. Man, you'd have been hurting. I said, yeah, we both would have been hurting. We would have been hurting. You know, so I another one of my peeves is people dropping the weights. I always say, if you can't lift it safely or don't have help, then don't lift it. Because you can hurt yourself or someone else. I mean, it was that close to having a broken foot today. Right. Just today on this show. Right. So I think gym etiquette really cannot be prioritized enough. We really have to do what we can to. As Jeff and Cam, Janet said, and I'm on the same boat, we have to be considerate for other people. We have to treat the gym, I believe, as a sacred place, a sanctuary of fitness and health. You know, for example, if you go to the Mecca of fitness, you know, Gold's Gym in Venice, often there, I see people really respect the power of the weights. They know it's about being clean and doing the right thing. I see it often at Gold's in Hollywood, and even at LA Fitness in 24 Hour, but so often I don't. And I think if you're considerate, it will be better for everyone in the gym. You know, what are your thoughts, Janet?
I agree. I mean, just overall consideration. The moaning and the groaning, it's not sexy. Girls don't like it.
Right.
You know,
assuming there's girls in the gym. Right. I've never seen a girl in my gym.
Never.
That'll lead me to another point.
Right.
I don't want to meet anybody at the gym. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to date you. Right. I have my earphones on. I can't hear you.
You don't want to hear them.
I don't want to hear you. So, you know, just overall consideration of just, you know, respecting the space that we own while we're at the gym.
Right. Because you're not there to look for a date. You're not there to be harassed sexually or any other way.
Not at all.
You're there to work out.
Right.
Because that may be the only time of the day you have to work out.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't want to talk to you. And I'll share something else that bothers me sometimes is if I'm working out really intense, and that's usually most of the time, if not all the time, if I'm working out, someone says, oh, can you give me a spot? Okay, I don't mind giving you a spot once. And then I do my workout, and then they'll find me. Hey, dude, that was a great spot. Can you give me one more spot? Okay. Now, I don't mind.
That's never happened to me.
It happens to me a lot. That's it. You get a workout partner. Now, to ask me a second time, I will say, okay. And then when I finish, I'll tell them, you know what, dude? Don't ask me anymore. Oh, dude, I got one more set. I said, yeah, you got to find somebody else. I'm not that guy.
Right.
I'm not the lackey. Thanks for trying to get me in that position.
Right.
You know, so I think the gym is such a phenomenal place to really decrease stress, to focus about what our goals, our dreams, our aspirations are, and to also be inside our bodies to know about the changes that we're making.
Absolutely.
And I think when we're distracted or when we're surrounded with inconsideration, it can take us out of the zone. And I'm really doing my best now to stay focused in there. But it does take a lot of energy. What about yourself, Cam?
Respect is huge because it takes so much effort to go out of your day, out of the hectic 24-hour schedule that you have to go and work out.
Yes.
When you're there, I mean, consideration is everything. If I can save time because this is the only time I have, it's huge.
Absolutely.
I respect myself enough to come in here and work on what I'm working on for my goals.
Yes.
And I also know that you're here too because we're looking at each other.
Absolutely.
Let's try to make this happen
exactly
as
together.
cohesive as we can.
Exactly. Without any drama, without any divisiveness.
You don't need all the extra stuff. Don't come and harass me while I'm on the weights. If you want to ask me how many more I have here, that's cool. But at the end of the day, the headphones are in. I'm going to work.
Exactly.
I didn't come to say, hey, how's life going?
No, I didn't come
get
to
the
talk.
whole month
I
breakdown.
Can't hear you.
Right, exactly.
It might even be on pause for a minute just because I need to catch my breath or something. But even then, I'm here for me.
Exactly.
You should be here for you.
Absolutely.
If you need help, I'll help you.
Right.
But don't inconvenience my whole thing. Because like
Absolutely.
you said, I'm not the lackey.
I'm not the lackey. Like
I didn't show up to help today.
Right, not today. Because the thing is, again, if they ask once or twice, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm not really in the zone. But sometimes I'll tell you, I'll be in the zone. They'll ask me and say, you know what, I can't today. I got some things I'm working on. I got a shoot coming up. I can't do it today. But you know, get somebody else to do it. I apologize. Now. And often they will walk away with a little bit of attitude, which I'm okay. Attitude, I got my own. I'm okay with that too. But I always try to be, in my mind, thinking, well, treating people the way I want to be treated. I think that's really a basic human law. So often I will side to help versus to walk away. But if I'm really pressed and I let them know I can't today, or sometimes I just don't feel like it. Like my wrist may be hurting, or my shoulders are hurting, or my neck is hurting. Like I can't do it today. And without any guilt or a self-condemnation about it.
Right,
you know.
right.
What about yourself, Jeffrey?
I was just thinking about like a handful of things. I think a lot of it boils down to situational awareness. That covers everything that we've talked about. And I think I got to the point now where I'm very fortunate and grateful and blessed that I've gained sponsorship. So now this puts food on my table.
Absolutely.
So if these a-holes are messing with my life,
Absolutely.
you know, it's would you go up to an athlete at the Denver Broncos, sorry, I'm from Colorado, and hassle them while they're working out? You wouldn't even think twice about it. Doesn't mean you're an a-hole, but it got to the point where I was up at 1 this morning so I could go to the gym because I can't, it increases the odds of not having this crap in your way.
Absolutely.
Because there's less people there and there's less this and that. And it gets to the point where I was at a gym in Colorado before I moved here.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm not exaggerating. For 4 years, I wasted money on the Dre Beats so people could see I have headphones on. Because if you put the little earbuds in, people might come talking to you. So I got the Leia muffs, and they finally got the point there. But I finally met somebody before I left the gym. About 4 years I'd been working out at that time in the morning.
Yes.
They said, we thought I was nice and jovial, and they're like, the whole gym thinks you're the biggest asshole.
Really?
And I was like, just because I didn't talk to anybody.
Wow.
I was there to work out, and I was like, that sucks that you have to be distracted and turn a 2-hour workout into a 4-hour workout.
Right.
And it's just situational awareness.
Absolutely.
And I think the spin-off on that while you were talking is, it's really frustrating because in all the helpful side of this is that I can absolutely see why fitness and health are so intimidating to people.
Right.
Gyms are just a disaster.
They
So nobody wants to go. And we made the joke about women going, and not in a sexist way, but I can see the intimidation why women wouldn't want to go, because there's all these cavemen going around making fools of themselves.
Absolutely.
Thus, they're not getting fit. They're intimidated, and they won't start a diet. They won't work out, and it's just this fallout.
Yeah, exactly. It's a circle.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking of women, Victoria, I want to say hi.
Oh, Victoria. Hey, Victoria, that was Jeff saying hi to you. I want to tell you, Victoria is one of our followers from the show. She's been listening, and when Jeff was on the show the last time, she sent multiple emails and made multiple comments to me about him. So they were all very flattering, so I just shared that with him. So Victoria, big hello from Jeff Bosley. One thing that Jeff said that I want to talk about also is that, before I went to medical school, I was a celebrity fitness trainer for a while. And one thing I thought was very intriguing, especially when it came to training some of the women celebrities, that often they would tell me, well, Levi, I cannot go to the gym now. I have to get fit first. And I always thought that was such an extraordinary statement, because then the only thing I could have that correlated to that was that with my mother, I told my mother, I said, I want to hire someone to come help you to clean up. And she said, well, no, I have to clean up before they get here. Well, why am I hiring them, Mama? So I want to say, so often people feel like they have to be fit before they go to the gym. But I do want to tell everyone this, and that is, you take you wherever you go. Mm-hmm. So your body is your body. So you not only want to love the end result, you want to love the journey of getting fit. So you can say, wow, that was tough. That used to hurt a lot. Now I can do not only 5 push-ups, I can do 10. Now I can not only 10 push-ups, I can do 50 push-ups and then 50 chin-ups, and then I can climb the rope. So you want to really think about this whole journey of fitness as just that, a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a race. And if you really look at your life the same way, you don't have to run to the next goal. It's waiting for you. Just keep making a little progress every day. The goal with fitness is to make small, sustainable steps to have long-term, maintained fitness goals. So the six-pack, I can tell you, these 3 people with me today, Cam and Jan and Jeff, they can tell you how to get a six-pack. That's easy. Getting a six-pack is very easy. Maintaining a six-pack, that's the issue. It's what do you do to, okay, now you have it, well, what do you do to it? How do you keep it? It's like if you want that boyfriend or that girlfriend, okay, you get them. How do you keep them? How do you keep great communication there? How do you keep love there? How do you keep the sex great? How do you keep the communication off the charts? You have to think about that. You may get the goal, but how do you maintain it? And then when you maintain it, how do you go up from there to the next step? Because don't forget, life is about going from good to better, better to best. It's really about that and not staying at a plateau. The same with fitness. Fitness is not about getting there and saying, oh, I look great today. Well, guess what? You might look great today, but how are you going to look tomorrow after you eat that ice cream, those cookies, that cake, that pie? So you really want to talk about the value of doing the right thing for your body all the time, making strategic choices about what you eat, what you smoke, what you drink. What do you guys have to say about diet? I want to hear about diet for you. Jeff, what are your thoughts about diet?
Well, I don't know what the statistic is, but it is sadly and unfortunately the most important of all. I mean, I had a bedridden surgery. I was stuck in bed for about 6 months, and I dieted. I couldn't exercise or train or anything, and I stayed lean and that just proved diet was it. My metabolism was in the toilet, but it was only diet. If I may say something to piggyback something you said real quick.
Sure, of course.
I think one thing as far as situational awareness for lack of better terms, the fit people or the people that kind of got it figured out.
Yes.
I think it's our job to be aware and open to those people that are intimidated.
Right.
Because they are, I know for a fact, automatically people are intimidating me, especially in the gym if I do wear a tank top. I'm covered in tattoos, hats down, I look mad. But be aware and open to that and realize that specifically there's a very clinically obese gentleman in my gym. I give him more respect going there daily. And he came up and talked to me one day and was just terrified. And I was like, wow, man. You deserve more props than homeboy down here.
Absolutely.
And if he can get there, and I saw an old man at the Santa Monica 24-hour fitness dragging his fixed weight dumbbell back. He used it, couldn't put it back. And those are the people we got to kind of realize are out there, a little bit of hope.
Absolutely.
So I just had to say that because we've all been talking about the culprits.
Absolutely.
I'll say it's kind of our side of that. I had to be a little bit,
I think
a little bit of hug coming out of Jeff today. But yeah, diet, highly important. I think people that are in fitness or are dieting for photo shoots or dieting very specifically for bodybuilding can realize, like you always hear that cupcake won't kill you and all that. Yeah, of course it won't. But when you get to such a level of where your body's insulin response and all those things, it won't kill you, but you can actually see for people that don't follow bodybuilding and that's not your goals. You can't eat a cupcake and it'll mess you up. You can get bloated overnight.
Absolutely.
And so we truly see the outcome of that.
Absolutely.
So if you times that by, a lifetime of brownies or a lifetime of Cheetos, food is a drug. Yeah, it messes with your hormones. It messes with everything. And so it is sadly the hardest part. You'll see memes all over the place, but it sucks. It's an hour a night putting food in a container is not fun.
No, but you do it though with the commitment of knowing that what it does for your body as well as for your mind, and ability to do what you do as a dedicated actor that you are. It puts you on your game. Yeah. It lets you think clear, it lets you get your lines better, lets you show up to do the blocking where you're fully present for everything. And at Lee Strasberg, you already know you have to be on every time you're there.
And I walk around with my cooler to every class.
Exactly right.
They make fun of me, but it's like I don't know.
It's okay.
But yeah,
there's a reason for
it.
Right, exactly.
There's
and I think that's the thing is when it comes to food, it's education.
Absolutely.
It's a sad state that we have all this information at our fingertips, yet I still get questions. I run kind of a fitness group online.
Yes.
I still get questions about diet things that that are obvious for me, but even if I try to think about it as the new layperson,
yes,
these answers are on the internet. I
yes.
mean, sadly, like, you know,
many people don't even believe the internet. They will actually prefer to hear it from you,
which is
or from a professional.
Legit, yeah. But it blows my mind that in this day and age that people don't know a little bit more about. I'm not talking like, oh, we need to know insulin response and glycogen and all that, but just the fact
some of the basics.
People are, you know, chugging away at 3 meals a day and having a pasta at dinner. You know, it's just like this stuff. It sucks that there's so much out there, yet so much not able to be accessed.
Absolutely. You know, you said something I thought was extraordinarily important. I wanted to talk about, and I've had a few patients that have had this. You said, you know, well, food. You said food is very important, and that food can be addictive. Well, the other thing about food, I've always thought about this is, I'm gonna write a blog about this too. And food is the only drug that you have complete access to. Unlike alcohol, it can restrict some people. Unlike cocaine or heroin or methamphetamine, marijuana, you have to go out and search for those things. But food is everywhere. So, you know, I take care of a few patients who have food addiction, and they always say it was easy for them to stop smoking. Yeah. And one had smoking, cocaine, and food addiction, and he stopped the food addiction, and he stopped the cocaine addiction, but the food is the thing that's been the most difficult. Even smoking, he said, is nothing compared to food because it's everywhere. So you have to exercise a certain amount of decorum, self-decorum, and discipline, because if not, you got access to it. And if you overtake food, food will overtake you. The thing about the body is this really, you know, phenomenal kinematic machine that we have. If you treat it properly, it will treat you properly. It will help you think clearly. It will have you to have better retention of your ideas. It will have you have a better libido, to feel better about yourself. It does all these things to sustain us. So I always think, why disrespect it? Why not love it more? Why not be more kind to it? Why not do the things that it needs, to drink the water that it needs, to give it the water so that your kidneys and liver and your body can respond properly? You can feel good about yourself. It's not difficult. What are your thoughts, Shannon?
You know, also now they offer so many different products that can be supplemented. You know, when I called you the other day and I said, "Oh my God, I found wheat-free, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free cheese."
Right.
It was free from everything, and it melts.
Right.
And then I also sent a picture to my friend. I said, "I have dinner. It's gluten-free, fat-free, everything free," and it was just a bowl of ice. I'm so excited I get to have dinner. So that's what I think about food.
I think it's clear to be aware of what we're eating, what we're choosing.
Right.
What about yourself, Cam?
I actually 100% agree. It is. Yes. It's necessary to know
is.
what you're eating, but then also going into supplements, bridging that gap. I think people really overdo it with the whey protein. Yes. They think if I carry around this shaker with protein, I take 3 shakes and then eat my vegetables, I'll get lean. Right. Without understanding, it's basic knowledge. Exactly. Access to the macros, carbs, fats, protein. If you just look it up, you need to have a balance. So just shaking up protein, knowing that your body can only use so much, it doesn't do anything for you.
True.
But if you do educate yourself slowly but surely, you start to see transformations.
Absolutely.
And then it's not the one cupcake. It's, if I eat that right now, next week it's going to be bad for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down.
Absolutely. And that's a great point, Cam, because one thing, that one cupcake may be a domino effect. Okay, I had only one today. Tomorrow I'll have just maybe a little more pasta. Or I'll just have a little more cake. Instead of a cookie, I'll just eat half the sleeve. Tomorrow I'll eat the whole sleeve. And before you know it, a bag of chips. I won't eat my soy-free, gluten-free cheese that melts. I'll eat whole cheese, and I'll eat cheese every day. And then finally, you can spin out of control very quickly. Yeah. So the body is funny, but the mind is funnier, but the mind is stronger. Mm-hmm. So I think we really have to just exercise this to say, okay, I want to be fit, but then how do I do it? And then more importantly, how do I maintain it? Yeah. I really think that's the crux of it. I want to share something else with you. I want to hear your thoughts about it. I want to hear about your own specific diets, and I want to share mine. I've gotten the question before, like, what do I do? So I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. Before it had this name of paleo. My diet is a combination of paleo and ketogenic type dieting, and I also do IMF. Now, IMF, I want to bring up, a lot of people are completely against in the medical community. However, myself, I've been doing it for also about 18 years, and that works for me. And that is, intermittent fasting. So I eat one day, I don't do anything. The next day I'll have like maybe some kale or maybe but it'll just be a shake, some type of shake, maybe 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, but no other solid type food. And then the next day I'm back to eating, my 1 or maybe 2 meals that day, and the next day not eating again. And that works for me. Now I want to say this before I get any emails about anything on any social media platform. I'm not saying that will work for you. I'm not advising you to do that. I am just telling you what works for Levi Harrison, and I like the way it makes me feel at 35 plus. I like it. So I want to say, so before you make your choices to do what works for you, talk to your doctor, talk to your nutritionist, talk to your acupuncturist, talk to your healthcare community to see what worked for you. And I want to make one quick comment about acupuncture. I had an email from someone in it was either Pakistan or Uzbekistan. It was about she was asking me about acupuncture. So I want to reiterate, I'm a big proponent of acupuncture. I think acupuncture, like Rolfing, like massage therapy, aromatherapy, homeopathy, I think all of them have podiatry, chiropractic medicine. I think everything has a specific place in medicine. I think Western medicine, for myself, as a trained surgeon, is not the only way. I think we have to really think about bringing things together as a melting pot and using acupuncture and all these other modalities that can really help you. So I don't have your name with me now, but I hope you listened to the show today as you said you would. And that's my thought about acupuncture. So, Jan, I want to hear about your diet and thoughts about what you do and what works for you at what, 22 plus you are?
25.
25. Wow, amazing. Looking
we're actually
great.
the same age.
Awesome. Right, exactly. Everybody's in their 20s.
There you go.
That's great. Good.
So what are your thoughts, Janet?
I have to say that as I've gotten older,
Yes.
I have noticed a drastic difference with the things that I put in my body, such
Yes.
as dairy.
Yes.
Dairy and I have gotten a divorce years ago,
That's
and
really
I
nice.
cannot have it.
I hope you had a prenup. I hope. Oh, this is California.
He's having an affair with us.
Exactly.
Soy-free, gluten-free.
Exactly.
I'm divorced and we're not looking back. Dairy and I are so over. And then I've also noticed as well gluten and wheat and
Yes.
soy. If you really just just pay attention to your body, you
Yes.
can really understand what works well and what doesn't.
Absolutely.
And then I also too acquired the one day I eat very clean and
Exactly.
then one day I just decide I don't eat. My boyfriend Darren will laugh because he says, what are we doing today? Are we eating today? Or we're not eating today. We're not eating today. Today I don't get to eat.
Well, I got to tell you, I've met Darren a few times. Quite a guy. I mean, you got a really nice guy there. One thing about him, though, he's real focused about fitness also. And in talking to him, he also lives that life as an athlete and with that knowledge that we are what we eat and drink. We just are.
Right.
You think about it, if you look at us as protoplasm, cellular DNA, basically, you can only get out what you put in.
Right.
So just be aware of that. I think you're doing the right thing. You talked about soy. I often get questioned about soy, why I think men should not eat soy. So I want to talk about that briefly. And that is, soy has a lot of phytoestrogens in it. So many of us believe that men who eat a lot of soy will have the following issues. And get ready for these. These are not good issues, guys. So if you eat a lot of soy, many of us think because of the phytoestrogens, you can get increased breast tissue, something called gynecomastia. You can have smaller testicles, smaller penises, as well as decreased libido. So none of those are good. Everything is small. So I recommend
men don't eat soy.
You heard it from Janet and Dr. Levi. So I think if you want to damage yourself and maybe damage your relationships, and it's something to think about.
No soy.
But in the end, I guess it's your choices. But I just want to bring it up about soy. Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
I was going to say the biggest thing I noticed about diet is you touched on it, is diet and anything, all of the answers, there is no right answer.
Of course not.
I would kill for the magic pill.
Right.
We all would, but it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
And I read a book, and I'm kind of going to plug it, but I've used it since forever, and as I've expanded and got coaches and everything and got my own knowledge, but I still go back to this. It's called What Does Your Doctor Look Like Naked?
Oh, I have that.
He and I are good friends from Idaho.
Yeah.
And,
Really?
Yeah, and the thing is that it sounds a little vulgar, but it's like, we've all been to the hospitals or whatever, and my father's a physician.
Yes.
You're a physician, obviously. So
Yes.
I mean, no disrespect to the medical community, but a lot of times there isn't a lot of practice what you preach.
Absolutely.
And that's what is unfortunate about the medical community, is that you and I think a lot of physicians are the exception, is that health and fitness, they're not exactly schooled up in
medical school even, or use.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that's the one thing, whether it's a fitness routine, a diet routine, there's no right answer. It's the one that works for you.
Absolutely.
And so, like, for example, for me, I got to the point I was so sick of meal prepping and everything, and I don't. It's gross how I think I'm making up a word. Unvarietaceous my diet is. I don't care. I have chicken with mustard. I'll reheat cooked spinach, or I'll eat it cold in the car because I don't care. But see, I'm highly aware when people ask me, they see that and they're totally intimidated. I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be bad.
Exactly.
I choose it to be bad. But I think the thing a lot of people need to realize with diet is the common denominator is frequency.
Absolutely.
I saw this on an infomercial of all things. And this takes it home for a lot of people in this fitness group I run, which ironically I changed it to more of a life help group.
Yes.
And the main topic is still always fitness.
I believe
it still
that.
comes back to that. But if you have a fire and you throw a log on the fire, that thing's going to take forever to burn. That's your whopper. You throw a bunch of kindling, that stuff burns right up.
Of course.
So that's how eating small, frequent meals is. And
Absolutely.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So, and I think another thing you touched on with Janet's boyfriend is a support system.
Absolutely.
I have had. It's almost become a deal breaker in relationships because,
it is.
especially in a
really
bodybuilding
is.
world where
Yes.
it is unforgivable.
Yes.
This is sad, but I just met a girl. We've started dating and everything. We went to see it. She goes, "Come on, let's watch a movie." And I'm in the middle of a bodybuilding show. There's no wiggle room. I came over with my wheeled cooler, and she didn't flinch. And it's sad. I was ecstatic like a little kid, but it's sad that support system doesn't exist. It can actually ruin relationships.
Absolutely.
It's a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And the name, the name. I don't think your name's Felicia. Now I got to cover my butt. No way. I'm talking about Renee.
Hi, Renee. Hi, Renee.
Bye, Felicia.
Need to be clear. But I think the biggest thing is this group I ran, it was called Fitness is a Lifestyle, Not a Fad.
Yes.
This stuff is a lifestyle.
It is lifestyle.
I've been doing it for myself 20 plus years.
Absolutely.
And it's not that it takes that long.
Right.
But the knowledge, and it's that was before knowledge was on the internet. And I think
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing is the support system and the support system and the knowledge and not expecting. There's not a one right answer.
Absolutely.
I've done the intermittent fasting. I hated it. It didn't
Some
work
people
for me.
can't stand it.
But the thing is it's tomato, and I think a lot of people just need to be
aware.
Willing to accept options.
Absolutely.
And patience.
Absolutely. And really, I think too, Jeff, to find out what works for them, you have to really be in tune with yourself to say, it's like relationships. We have relationships we know that work for us, and then we have those that we said don't work for us. Then it's up to us to say, I'm going to stay with what works. I'm going to really lovingly let go what doesn't work.
Right.
So I think when we're aware of our bodies, what we eat, what we drink, then you can say, well, I'm going to make the healthier choice this time.
Right.
The other thing that you said, Jeff, that I thought was really important is the fact that as we talk about food choices, you do have to do what works for you.
Right.
But you only know what works for you, as he said so well, if you experiment with different things.
Exactly.
We can't go and say, if that works for that person, that book works for that person, what's the Rakin diet or Atkins diet that works. We have to do what works for your body.
Right.
There's so many books about what works for your blood type, what works for your culture, for your race. The bottom line is this. All of those were written by somebody because that worked for them. You have to write your own book because you're writing your own life. You're the director, the producer, the actor in your own life.
Right.
So I think it's so important that we show up for our lives, show up for ourselves, and do what works for us.
Exactly.
Cam, what about your diet? How is that?
Well, the funny thing is about saying that my diet has actually changed. I live life on the road now, so I actually don't have access to a kitchen for 4 days out of the week.
Ooh,
so
that's intense.
It's important that you said that though, because in order for me to maintain my physique, I had to pretty much change some things. I had to change a few components of when I eat, what I'm eating.
Yes.
So just a quick breakdown when I'm on the road: heavy breakfast, heavy lunch, light snack, light dinner.
Right.
Because it's my bulk of my day is in the morning. Right. So it works for me.
Exactly.
Versus 6-7 months ago, I'd have a meal here, meal there, and I'd be fine.
Absolutely.
But you have to be able to change or be willing to change things that don't work. And it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
I love that statement. Also, like you said so well, Cam, we do have to be able to be malleable to life. Because if you're out of the country, if you're on a tour, if we're doing things, then you may not have access to the gym. Well, again, I've always said many times before, the gym is where your body is.
Right.
If you can't get to the gym, work out where you are.
Yep.
Use things in the hotel. I mean, use that. But don't use not being in your comfort zone as a place to say, well, I'm not going to work out today. I'm going to let it go today. I'll catch up when I get back. The thing about fitness is never stored. So you can work out for 3 months, stop working out for 2 weeks. All that what you did, it is gone.
Erased.
It really is.
Erased.
It really is
right.
erased. I really mean that, guys. It's gone. So we really have to look at life as you have to stay with it. It is dedication.
Right.
All of you said, each of you said it is a lifestyle, and it really is that. One thing that Jeffrey said, and you did also, Jan, I want to talk about is, and that is the issue of accountability. I think it is so important. Workout partners for myself just doesn't work. I've had a few. I'm such a loner anyway in general, and such an introspective nerd. And childlike man, as I call myself, that it doesn't work for me. So I can't, call a workout partner and say, you mind meet me at the gym at 4:00? I'll be there at 3 a.m. I'll meet you at 2:15. I'm just getting out of surgery. That ain't gonna work.
Right.
So that doesn't work for me. But I think it is great when you find someone who does match you energetically and spiritually and fitness-wise, you say, you know what? You don't feel like working out? Well, you gave me your word. Let's go work out.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I don't feel like working out. You have to push you up. That's great when that happens. I found that very rare for myself personally. I want to hear about your experiences, all three of you, with respect to having someone.
Just accountability, Doc, because Darren and I go to the gym almost every single time that we go to the gym, we go together.
Yes.
But I don't want to talk to him either. I talk to him all day long, or I talk to him the whole day before, and I have my earphones on.
Of course.
So we go together, we split up, but that's our time together, but at least we go together.
Absolutely, which is a great thing.
Right.
What about yourself, Jeffrey?
I was going to say, for the gym, since to me, that I still go back, diet's the most important.
Yes.
I think having an accountability partner for diet, that's why I think surprisingly online coaching actually works, because it's the diet. It's like saying, I effed up and ate a Snickers bar.
Absolutely.
So it's the psychological discipline that accountability partner provides.
And also, before I get to Cam, also, you're one of your sponsors, AI Sports Nutrition, right?
Yeah,
Who's the other sponsor that you
I got AI Sports Nutrition, Caliber Nutrition, that's
Awesome.
run by another Green Beret in Colorado, and
Awesome.
then Lift Heavy Athletics. They're the ones helping fund and feed this.
Fantastic.
This
Beast.
thing. Whatever. She said it. I just.
The beast.
I'm the tall guy.
He's the temple of essence and fitness. That's what he is.
Right.
What about yourself, Cam? Any closing comments?
Accountability is huge for me. As soon as I land, I have a buddy, the guy actually makes my apparel for me, Impact Marketing. I have a buddy that calls me before I even get off the plane. Cam, we're going to the gym at such time,
exactly
right? This is what we have game planned. All right, let's do it.
That's awesome.
And when I'm there, he's there in the sauna or he's on the treadmill warming up.
That's
and
what it goes, man.
fires me up.
Absolutely.
After a long weekend of work,
Yes.
you walk into the gym, you have that buddy that's there.
Right.
Okay, well, now I can't slack. Because
Exactly.
there's no way he's going to let me.
Yeah, he can't let
Right,
you.
right.
There's just nothing like to me, it's the thrill and exhilaration of being in the gym. When I walk in there, I feel alive. I feel like I can breathe better.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's nothing. I think for some people it might be food, it might be sex, it might be drugs, but the gym is a sacred place. Now, I want you all to mention your social media platforms. I want to thank you, Jan, and your company for being a sponsor of the show.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your platforms. Social media.
AllAccessEvents.net.
Awesome, Cam.
And then I have Instagram, AOCam, AYYOOCam.
Fantastic. And what about Jeff?
Anything and everything is welcome to Boz.
Welcome. Spell that out.
Welcome to, and then BOZ.
Fantastic.
Anything and everything is that. Google me and I'll go.
Awesome. And the bodybuilding show is October in
October
Culver City.
15th in Culver City.
Okay. Well, we'll be there if we're in town, by the grace of God. Congratulations in advance. Can't wait to see you with the big trophy. All right. Well,
As tall as him.
As tall as him, yeah. Because Jeff's about 6'5". Exactly.
6'5", just like 7 feet.
Right, 7 feet.
like 7 feet tall.
This is Dr. Levi. I want to really thank my guests, Janet and Cam and Jeffrey, for being here today. I want to remind you that life is about going this journey to be fit and healthy. So be kind to elderly people. Be kind to the veterans. They're our true heroes. Those men and women gave their body parts, their lives. They sacrificed so much for our freedoms. And remember, it's just nice to be nice to people. It's just not that difficult. All right? So this is Dr. Levi. Remember, live in that place of ever-expanding gratitude, and the universe is working and conspiring for your greater good. I wish you the best. See you back next week. Bye.